had a bit of time to digest the whole experience. How do you look back on the whole Royal Ascot experience?
I look back on it probably mixed emotions a little bit. Should have been one of the biggest days in my life, you know, but being my own worst critic and my ride being the story of the day, yeah, it didn't sit well with me, you know, but unfortunately that's my cross to bear, and I'm comfortable with it now. It took me a few cans on Saturday night to sort of get right with it, but yeah, now we've moved on. We can't get yesterday back, and she's still undefeated.
It seems like you're pretty down about it. Are you a bit upset that there's been a lot of negative commentary about it?
Yeah, I think obviously she's won 22 straight. That should have been the story, and it's just way too much press, both all around the world actually, on the ride itself, and it wasn't my best. It was far from my best. It was probably one of my worst, and you got that sinking feeling. But the fact that I haven't ridden her any different at any of her 19 starts. I've always let her coast because we always look after her, and I thought I had an advantage great enough but because she obviously wasn't herself, the anchors came on pretty quick, and I was lucky to escape it, but nevertheless she still won.
Just on that, obviously we learned pretty soon after the race that she was sore and she was injured. When did you know during the race that she was hurting?
Oh, she wasn't her usual self in the run, but I wasn't sure for what reason that was. But when I probably got a great understanding of it sort of post-race, but when she did sort of really throttle back on me, horses only do that when they are sore, and she'll normally coast to the line every other time. But these are just excuses for my ride on her, you know. And I had to take full responsibility for the ride, overshadowing what was supposed to be a brilliant performance, the Black Caviar's 22nd straight win. So that in itself. The only real disappointing thing about it, it should have been a celebration of one of the greatest horses we've ever seen, and Black Caviar's winning 22 straight, and the fact that my ride seems to have it's been more news than the win itself, I feel.
Do you think
the history's going to judge it a lot more kindly than that, though, Luke, isn't it? You looked after her, she's your best mate, you were kind to her, you got the job done. Are you being a bit hard on yourself, do you think?
Yeah, but I am, but I'm not my own worst critic, and I've got, and don't worry, I've got a few friends there too at the moment it's a bit of a beat up at the minute, but that's the only thing it will probably, like, old time heals all wounds, and she was still the winner, I suppose, and it will be probably, hopefully when it'll simmer down a bit, it'll be reflected on a little better.
You were kind to her.
I've always been kind to her, and I haven't been any different to her. She's a very important horse to me, and we've always done it, and that's why we've probably had the longevity of 22 straight runs, is because we have looked after her in the past. And look, hopefully in time, I know I'm over it, and obviously I'm the fresh meat since I've got back here. We'll get moody later in the week, but this is the most disappointing thing about the whole experience, and it should have been a great one. Got to meet the Queen, and that was a wrap, and then shake hands, we had a little chat, and the fact that she was 22 wins straight should have been the story, and it should have been the story of Ascot, but it was unfortunate that the ride's taken precedence.
Have you been able to get a sense of sort of what the reaction was here in Australia? I mean, it was probably colder than this, and Federation Square's packed at 1 o'clock in the morning watching a horse race on the other side of the world. Have you been able to get a sense of just what sort of the impact was over here?
Which impact? The impact of the win?
How the whole country was watching that race, in the early hours of the morning, and was so excited that she won.
Being over there, you're a little ways removed from it. I did see some of the live shots from Federation Square, and look, that's been part and parcel of Black Caviar's story for probably a good few runs now. The fact that she does have a country race on her shoulders and on her back, because the fact that she's so she's so popular, and she sort of transcended our sport and an ambassador. And it's been like that for a long while, so it was no different over there, and I can only assume what it would have been like back here.
What was it like riding her, knowing there was all that pressure?
No, the ride, she wasn't the same horse that she usually is over there, but when you're on her back, you're far removed from it all. You don't play to it. You can only go out and ride her, and what'll be will be. And the pressure, you don't seem to. You actually look forward to the pressure of riding Black Caviar, believe it or not. I wasn't so looking forward to it earlier in her career, but you seem to thrive off it, and as a result, like it's always looked pretty effortless for her to win in winning races, and the fact that it wasn't as emphatic a win as she's had in the past, just probably made that little bit more special, you know, because we had a bit of drama there.
What's your take on the injury? I mean, how could you? What did you sense at the time, and now? What do you think her future is? I mean, how long will she wait to race it again, or will she race again?
I don't know. These decisions will be made by Peter Moody. At the time, I knew she wasn't 100%. Like when she trotted back to scale, she wasn't. She's got a bit of a funny hybrid, almost pacing trotting action as it is. So she's not always. She feels good when you're on her back, but she doesn't always look that good when you're seeing her trot out. But coming back to scale, there was some definite issues there, but we'll find out. We'll let the dust settle, and she'll when she gets back into Australia, she'll be thoroughly vetted, and Pete will make a decision from there.
I don't think everyone's as down on you as you think they are, so hopefully you feel a bit better about it. But what did Pete say to you straight after the race?
He didn't say much. He said, I can't remember actually what it was, and he said something like, "Don't let him." It was a bit closer than he's probably comfortable for it being, but he still loves me. Still got the job, so and we got the job done. So, and at the end of the day, that's the story. She still got the job done, no matter how controversial the circumstances. She still got it done.
What's the word from over there about her condition?
She improved when she got back to Newmarket, but she's out in the paddock in quarantine at the moment, so all that'll time will tell, and whether or not she makes it back in the sprint or she's retired. But Pete's very protective of her record, so that's all we want to do.
What went through your head at the time when Midnight Cloud came up right outside you and you looked like could catch her?
I always thought I had an advantage, and I just had to get a bit urgent late, that was all. And because she'd stopped so noticeably on it, I don't think it was so much them flying home, it's the fact that she was coming back to them more so. And at the time, when I decided to let it coast, I got away with it, simple as that.
Sorry, there's a bit of talk about how near the finishing places is a bit of an incline. Is that a bit of a myth, or is it true that maybe she couldn't coast home partly because it's a bit of an incline?
There is a little bit of an incline there, but I think she was out on her feet too. And when she did stop, horses only stop that dramatically when they're hurting, and that's we got away with it. So yeah.
Because she was hurting so much, could you have pushed her to win it by much more, or do you think that was as good as it was going to get, no matter what your performance was?
Oh, look, no, I think she may have. I'm not sure how much she may have won by, but at the time we probably had a length and a half advantage, and they wore it back to a headed advantage. So, but she may have stayed on that tangent. She may have weakened the touch as well. I don't know.
As you said, Luke, it's not your decision, but have you sort of got a gut feeling of what her future holds in terms of retirement or?
No gut feeling. I'll be happy to for a press on, but like all the horses under Peter's care, the horse comes first, and she'll tell us.
You've obviously got quite a soft spot for her. How would it feel if she was retired?
I don't know. it's been probably coming for a long while that each one might be a last. But until it comes, I probably haven't thought about it too much at all. I know it'd be great pride that I was, when she is retired, that I was associated with one of the best horses I've ever seen, ever ridden, and may ever see.
Thanks a lot.
Great.
mate.
Thank you, Luke.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Still one, mate.
Yeah.